My name is Ebony Louise Barrett. I'm a creative director and photographer from South London. I also am the founder of Japanese fashion magazine BonBon, which has now been going for about 3 years. I started photographing maybe longer than 4 years now, because BonBon's been going for 3 years. But I've been photographing and kind of naturally creatively directing with that as well, because I just find it comes naturally to me. I love making everything cute and kawaii, and that really definitely shows in my work. I was a studio assistant at Big Sky from end of last summer to a few months ago. I started to properly become freelance and start production assisting here and there, and also focusing on my work as well. I've always loved Japan since I was a little kid. I watched documentaries when I was super young with my mum and my brothers, and I just remember seeing lots of documentaries about how everything was so different there. Not just the fashion, but the food, the lifestyle, the relationships between people. Everything was just so different, and is so different. And I was so fascinated by that. And that kind of carried through to alternative fashion as well for me. Because I've always been alternative. Like, I used to dress really dark and like wear black lipstick, and like I was very like gothic back in the day. But it's so funny, I feel like that's the story of every like kawaii person ever. Like, they just started wearing anything like colourful or anything that stood out as different. From there they just kind of they found kawaii fashion, and yeah, that's kind of what happened for me. And I wanted to channel that into BonBon and into my magazine, and really make it a safe space for people like me who love Japan and everything cute. I think I have a few, but they always change because I always like to be creating work every year. I never like to be away from photography too long. I tend to like stretch out my projects a bit longer now because like they cost a bit more money and things like that. But definitely Haven sticks out, which was the main editorial for BonBon issue 5, where I was the model and I creatively directed, and my friend at the time photographed me in my own kind of like world that I'd creatively directed, and it was really, really cool. I really loved that shoot, and I loved being painted blue. That was really fun, and I definitely want to do more shoots like that. But I really love also Sweet Shop 6, which I did at the very end of my uni degree for my final major project. And that got me an award as well. So that always holds like a really special place in my heart. I am constantly changing my favourites. Like, I'm working on stuff right now and I feel like that will be my next favourite, you know, so it always changes. Yeah, it is a very interesting experience, to say the least. Racism is kind of in so much. It's just so like in like society and in the world, sadly. And you know, fashion and photography isn't something that's like that opposes to that. It is very much the same. I've had to work a bit harder, definitely. Had to stand up for what I believe in more, but it also gives me kind of I love to speak about culture in my work, and I love to speak about my heritage and my experiences and my upbringing. So it's very much allowed my work to kind of be more versatile and diverse in that sense, which I am always eternally grateful for. I would never like to change that at all. There's definitely obviously a hierarchy with kind of white men being at the top and them being the ones that are leading the businesses still to this day. And you know, there's still so much more work to be done and so much more room for other female black creatives, especially. So I'm trying to like stand up for that and really incorporate that in my work and kind of make that my thing, where I'm speaking about my black experience through a kawaii kind of aesthetic. Oh my goodness, what wouldn't I want to see? Want to see a sensitivity and kind of just, you know, humans aren't linear, and I feel like the fashion industry tries to operate in this very linear, like, very like strategic way. It can be quite overwhelming, it can be quite draining, and the hours, shoots go on for ages, you know, they can go on for days. Like there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I never like filter that. I love that so much. I love that side of it. But I think as well there's this kind of grinding hustle culture that surrounds it, and it makes it kind of a lot more like look more inaccessible to other people because they feel like it's kind of untouchable and they can't be a part of it. So I just feel like it should be opened up so much more, and you know, really taking everyone's thoughts and feelings into consideration and just looking after everyone, because there's just a hierarchy with so many things, not just race, but like who you are, you know, how long you've been in the industry, you're treated differently, things like that. Like it just should be a lot more fairer and more equal for everyone, I think. I would definitely say, you know, I've hosted seminars in the past, and I've always kind of said that when you start out in photography, you're very much gonna like, for me, it was very much I gravitated towards a certain aesthetic and I wanted to really achieve that in my work. And that kind of came before everything else, like the technicality of cameras and photography and just images, that kind of came later. It was very much me like just expressing my fashion and my interests at first. And I think that's the beautiful thing about photography, is that you can honestly capture whatever you like and capture whatever means something to you. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do, and trying to like delay shoots in order to kind of, you know, really put thought and concept into them. I just think that creatives need to not be so hard on themselves, and I think that you should just go with the flow, go with whatever you like, go with whatever you gravitate towards, and allow time to kind of unfold that for you and see where it leads you. Because, you know, one day you might want to do photography, one day you might want to do production, or even like in your shoots, just try everything. You know, you can try everything once. It's a really lovely period to be in when you're first starting out. So just kind of go with the flow, keep shooting, use facilities, use resources, you know, do your research, and yeah, just keep creating for sure. So TPF have been such a blessing and such a nice ray of sunshine in this kind of dog eat dog world. I feel like it's really nice because, you know, they focus on BIPOC, like emerging photographers as well, and looking after like minorities. And I think there is so much work that can be done in that area, and so much space for that, especially in photography. I feel that so many more stories can be told, and so much more creativity can be pushed into it. I feel like fashion industry is kind of at a bit of a slump right now, and it kind of needs me to spruce it back up. And TPF has really kind of just pushed me and made me realize what I'm capable of, made me realize what I can do, and has really given me the confidence to kind of go out into the world a bit more. I always have kind of had somewhat a little bit of that confidence, but they've really like the kind of camaraderie and the feeling of the community, and just feeling like everyone's in it together. It's really helped, and just, yeah, meeting some amazing individuals, and like collaborators, future collaborators and clients, and hopefully. So yeah, it's been really great.